Hello everyone, welcome to our Timeless Oracle reading. And our Oracle card for today belongs to the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle by Kelly T. Smith. The card for today is entitled Boundaries. All of us need to have a sacred space. And we need to protect that sacred space with good and firm boundaries. Now, the reason why it is important for us to have a sacred space, it is because we need to allow ourselves to become the person we are meant to be in this lifetime. And for us to have that, for us to be able to evolve into that person, we need a sacred space. It's like a cocoon where we can enter in order for us to be able to undergo transformation undisturbed by the environment around us. It is like a sanctuary where we can listen to the Spirit, where we can learn from the Spirit, and where we can ask the Spirit to nurture us, to protect us. So we need to protect this sacred space. Now, the sacred space is important not only in a spiritual sense or in an intangible sense, because there are certain levels of sacred spaces that all of us should have. Number one, we need to have a sacred space in the physical realm. So it can be a special spot that you can go to. For some of you, it can be out in the environment, like a special shrine that you can have. The shamans would call it a power spot. It's an area in nature where when you go to that area, your energies are cleansed, your energies are enhanced. That's why oftentimes when you have those power spots, you should make sure that before you enter that power spot, the energy that you have with you is a positive one, so that when you enter, it will be the positive energy that will be magnified or emphasized or strengthened rather than a negative energy. So it's very important for us also to prepare ourselves before we go to that sacred space. Now, the sacred space can be a specific place near you, where you are, or a specific place you constantly go to at regular intervals. A sacred space in nature, it can be. You will feel it. You look for a place wherein you feel a certain sense of peace, a certain sense of high spirits, something like that. It can be in a park or in a part of nature where you feel a certain sense of good feelings. Usually the best way to do that is to go around the place and try to sense which areas around your vicinity, in the vicinity of where you are presently staying. You can go around every once in a while and you will discover those special places where you feel enhanced, and at the same time it is a quiet place where people cannot disturb you. Now, it can be also within your house. You can create a certain area in your house that becomes your sanctuary, and you need to have good boundaries to protect those physical sanctuaries. You need to teach people to respect that when you are in that area, they will think twice first before they would try to disturb you. Somehow you need to let them know and to train them also to learn to respect you. When you are in that area, they will need to wait a little bit until you're ready to come out and to interact with them. We can be firm at the same time, gentle, and we need to teach them, so we need to patiently let them know that these areas are sacred to you, and that when you are in that area, they need to respect that quiet time, that quiet moment. So the sacred space can be in different aspects. It can be in the physical realm. It can be also in the area of time. So the physical realm is in the area of space. So you need to have a sanctuary in the area of space, which is the physical realm. You need also to have a sanctuary in the area of time. And that is what oftentimes we refer to as me time or personal time. So there are certain times of the day where people need to respect and that they cannot disturb you. You can teach them by, for example, turning off your phone or putting it in sort of like silent mode or do not disturb mode, or in on-flight mode, something like that, wherein people cannot disturb you. When you are in that quiet time, for example, a certain time within the day, you need to set that time where people will respect you and will not disturb you in those moments. So the sanctuary or the safe space or that sacred space, you should have one in the physical realm, in the space, in the element of space, and also in the element of time, wherein people would respect you at a certain time frame. You need to have also a spiritual sacred space. So it is that space within you, that space inside you. Now, the sacred space in the physical realm and the sacred space in the element of time are your jumping board into that inner sacred space that you have. So it means that when you go to that sacred space in the physical realm, and when you spend those moments in those sacred time of the day, this becomes jumping board. This becomes opportunity for us to enter that sacred space within us. The sacred space within us, we can create it through our imagination. You can even put details of that sacred space in order for you to easily come back to whenever you need to. At the same time also, you can ask also the spirit realm or the divine to create that sacred space with you, that they will somehow create it in a certain sense wherein you receive visions, you receive dreams, and you find yourself in that sacred space. So it can be a two-way process. You create your own sacred space in your mind. At the same time, you can ask also your spirit guide and the divine to help you create that sacred space wherein they contribute into you. Your dream becomes a sacred space created also by the divine. The messages they send to you through dreams are their contribution to that sacred space that you have. Now, how do we create a firm boundary? It's true we need, as we evolve further, the more the Spirit uses us in order to extend the Spirit's love to the rest of the universe. And so we also develop that ability to love others, to be gentle with others. But we need to maintain that boundaries if we are to continue to be of service to everyone. And we need to teach people to respect those boundaries. So it's important for us to sometimes say no. It is important for us to sometimes also explain to people that at certain points in time we are not available. That when we are on a certain activity, like for example, you went on a retreat at a certain time, you need to make people respect that moment, that sacred moment, that sacred space. You could also teach people to respect that there are certain aspects or certain places where whenever you go there, they cannot reach you, that they need to respect that time and they need to wait. You need to teach people to learn to respect that space, to learn also to wait, especially if you are dealing with people who are overbearing, who have a tendency also to drain you of your energy. Part of having a good boundary is protecting your energy. We need to train people that they cannot just drain your energy. At the same time, you need to train people also not to dump into you negative energies or low level energies. So you need to teach other people also that when they are not in a good disposition, you can forego interaction with them, and that you can always deal with them later when they have already calmed down and when the anger or the anxieties that they might have had has already subsided a little. It requires some effort and some patience and a little bit of firmness while remaining gentle and caring for others. Now, to gain more insights regarding boundaries, let us try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card, and let us try to see what other lessons we can learn. So it says here, boundaries. You are learning the gentle art of setting boundaries and saying no. It is not only okay to say no at times, but imperative when it comes to living a life in alignment with your authentic self. If you are a person who almost always says yes, doing things that are not in your best interest, and spreading yourself too thin, it is definitely time to take back your personal power. When you are able to set firm boundaries for yourself and the people in your life, it's true also, we need to have boundaries also to spend time with our family so that our career will not take too much of our time also. So we need to create also a certain balance, okay? So let's go back to the handbook. You are saying yes to yourself. So when you are able to set firm boundaries for yourself and the people in your life, you are saying yes to yourself. You are giving yourself more time and freedom to focus on what your soul needs. If it is in your best interest to take time to focus on your business, on school, on your family, or on any other thing that is important to you, you won't have the energy or the time to do so if you try to be all things to all people. Remember that it is an illusion to think that other people can make you feel a certain way. Other people cannot make you feel anything. Only you are in charge of your feelings. You are in charge of your life, and you get to choose what is in your best interest. Make peace with the fact that this is what you need right now. The people who truly love and support you will understand when you have to focus on your own needs. The ones who don't might not be relationships that serve your highest good. That's interesting. If people truly care for us, they will respect the boundaries. Those who only have their own interests in mind, if after you've explained to them and they still do not respect those boundaries, then maybe they are really not meant to be part of your daily, of your life's journey. So the last message seems to be very important. I'll try to repeat it again. It says here, the people who truly love and support you will understand when you have to focus on your own needs. The ones who don't might not be relationships that serve your highest good. So these are the things that you need to consider. There might be a need to let go of those relationships wherein the people just think of their needs and do not consider your personal boundaries and do not consider your needs also. So you deserve the best. You deserve the best because you also give your best. Now, intuitive life coaching questions. In what areas of your life are your boundaries currently being challenged? In what ways? How can you strengthen your boundaries in these areas? Well, that's it for our oracle for today, our timeless oracle for today. I hope you were able to gain insights, and I hope it has inspired you to create those sacred spaces in your life, in the physical world, in your time, in the physical world, which belongs to the dimension of space, in your daily time schedule, which is in the element of time, and also in your spiritual realm, which we usually go to whenever we go to this physical boundary or this physical sacred space, and also this temporal or time-based sacred space. And we need to protect it with strong boundaries. So, well, that's it right now. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. It allows the channel to grow, and it allows the channel to reach more people. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.